it was when she was about 6 months old, and she basically, whenever you gave her a bottle of formula, would pretty much throw it back up straight away, wouldn't it?
Yes, yeah, and then as we carried on with weaning her, she'd be sort of vomiting about 10 times a day, and it was quite serious. Trying to sort of work out what that was a real challenge for us.
And it got to, was it just before she was a year old, the GP referred us to our local hospital. Unbeknown to us, had allergy testing then done, because they didn't really know what else was wrong. She had an ultrasound and they couldn't see any immediate problems with her stomach. And so after, I think about when she was about 18 months old, we went to the local tertiary centre to see a gastroenterologist. She showed quite significant allergies to egg, dairy and fish, particularly fish. We then left with, I think, a very heavy-hitting antihistamine, and he advised us that the best thing to do is to take egg and fish out of her diet straight away, and he would then refer us urgently to their allergy clinic. We had an incident at nursery when she had an anaphylactic reaction to fish, which sort of meant we were very glad when we got to the actual allergy appointment in the November, and she had the full-blown allergy testing done there and showed that she had a very significant allergy to fish and egg. Unfortunately, COVID then hit, and so we actually got told they wouldn't see us for another 18 months. And the problem we were facing is that having to take egg, fish out of the diet was becoming quite problematic, and just trying to manage that with a 2.5-year-old. And we also had, in that time, we also had another child, and it was just trying to manage it all was quite difficult. So I started Googling around to see if I could find an allergy clinic, and stumbled upon the Royal Alex. They managed to see us within, I think it was about a couple of months, wasn't it, if that? And we went there and they agreed. They did another set of skin prick tests and agreed, yes, still very allergic to fish, but definitely wasn't showing any reaction to egg or nuts. And so we had a great chat with the dietitian and also the nurse specialist about reintroducing those. And what they said to us is that if we liked the Royal Alex, we could ask our GP to re-refer us to there. We both really liked how they did it wasn't just a one appointment with a consultant, it was an appointment with 3 different people who all looked at it from different angles and then just gave you all of the information. And it was just it was really helpful, and we were able to go back. I think we got back on egg literally the next day. We gave her some.
Yeah, started her on the egg ladder, and over the course of a few days, weeks, got her up to the point where she was eating birthday cakes.
Yeah, which had been like a massive thing to actually now be able to have. We had in the April now, what was it, 2.5 years ago now, and she ended up in hospital with quite serious sepsis, so much so that we nearly lost her. And we saw the prof in the July, and he was seeing her. She'd started to wheeze a bit, and so we had our suspicions. I'm asthmatic, my mum's asthmatic, his sister's asthmatic. It wasn't particularly a surprise. And he was brilliant. He turned around and said, "I'm not happy with her chest." And we explained what had happened in the last couple of months, and the prof was like, "No, we're not. She should be better by now. This is not right." And so what was supposed to be, I think, a half-hour respiratory and allergy appointment turned into him arranging for her to have several diagnostic tests, because he was quite concerned about the damage the sepsis had done to her chest. And he was right, there was damage. She needed to have, I think that Christmas she had antibiotics for at least 4 or 5 months, but various other things. He also wanted to make sure that there was nothing nefarious hiding there that they'd missed that had caused it. So she had various other tests for like cystic fibrosis and things like that, just to make sure. And so the allergy kind of took a back seat, but given how unwell she was and just how much it impacted her, we were just grateful that there was actually follow-up. And so we've been seeing him, I think it was for at least the first year after all those testing, we saw him. He made sure that we saw them every three months, and then it's been downgraded just because the asthma is very well controlled. We had an appointment only 2 weeks ago now, and it's just the nurse specialist that she sees is just brilliant. She has a needle allergy because of just the amount of, in her quite short life, just the amount of input she's had to have. And the fact that the nurse specialist was able to do the allergy testing, do a joke, make her laugh, and I didn't need to pin her down, which is something that when she was in hospital, when she has vaccinations, we quite often have to. And it's just the way they focus on making her comfortable. And it really, for us, it's sort of the conversations that go with it. So, you know, her asthma is well controlled, but it could be better. But they decided not to upgrade her to the next inhaler just because, well, is that actually going to, you know, she's only 7, is that actually going to help her? You know, the way they sort of change tact for different children and things like that, I don't think we'd have got the same care from the place we were initially referred to. You know, they listen to us, they talk to her, you know, they actually engage with her and do what's best for her, which is just, yeah, it's brilliant. So